What's happening, everybody, on this Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024? My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live. For everyone watching from the soon-to-be 51st state, just want to say hello to our soon-to-be 51st state. Up there to our snow Mexicans, as they're sometimes referred to. Hello, Canada. As Donald Trump suggests we annex Canada and make it the 51st state in one of the funniest things I think I've ever heard in politics. I think that is absolutely hilarious. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that today. Obviously, President Trump was half kidding, but naturally, the idiots on the left have lost their ever-loving minds. What would that mean? What would it mean if we had the state of Canada? First off, it's gigantic, so we would probably have to have like 9 different states. But it would be funny nonetheless. It would be funny nonetheless. Joe Biden, of course, at the exact same time, continues to face criticism over the pardoning of his son, Hunter Biden. The media very, very, very upset about this. Chuck Todd has just noticed. He has just come to the conclusion that it turns out Joe Biden's a real selfish asshole. A giant selfish asshole. What a thought. Scott Jennings continues to be awesome over on CNN, quite literally breaking his neck at an eye roll at one of the stupidest people I've ever seen. And South Korea descends into chaos. Naturally, CNN descending into chaos is whose fault? Yeah, that's right. It's Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault. Also, real quick, shout out to producer Eli for this thumbnail today. I love it. I love it. Throwing in Terrence and Phillip for all of our South Park fans out there, for all of our friends at South Park. But hit that thumbs up button, guys. Share this video out all over the place. Pop this live chat up onto the screen. Marissa, how are you? Christine, how are you? Angela, what's going on? Jeanette, hello, as always. Make sure if you guys are watching on Facebook, do me a favor. Do me a favor and hit that @ button at your followers so that they can check out the show as well. If you're watching on X, make sure you repost this one. Let's dive into the Rumble chat. Nancy, I know Chuck Todd trying to save his credibility. It's pretty funny. Wonderful day, Goose. How are you? Amazing thumbnail for Eli. Yeah. Amazing thumbnail for Eli. That's I laughed. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes the thumbnails are good. Other times I see them and I genuinely laugh my ass off. Today was one of them. Today was definitely a ass laughing off kind of thumbnail. So shout out to Eli. Guys, do me a favor. We got to feed producer Eli so he can keep on chugging along. So hit that Rumble Rant button. Why don't we start a Rumble Rant train today? We haven't done that in a while. Help us fund the on-the-ground operations here over at LFA TV. Alex Ann, how are you? BK Short, what's happening? Shout out. Jersey in the house. What's up? Vintage Little Gal, how are you? Next time I see you, Kevin, I got a big mouth light. B is for you. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that. Sly, you like this? You like the Donald Trump Miller Lite shirt? Giddy up. Let you guys know. Chat, let me know where you can get this shirt at. See if you guys all know. Hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out. Ooh, Sagan, giddy up. Let's start it up. So obviously, the breaking news at this hour, and the only reason I bring this up is because South Korea is one of our largest trading partners and obviously a friend in the region, keeping back the tides of Little Rocket Man up to the north. Well, apparently communist and North Korean sympathizers have descended into the South Korean parliament, really causing a kerfuffle over there. Obviously, not very good stuff. So, the president of South Korea implemented a martial law declaration, which is terrifying. Many people have suggested that martial law ought be imposed here in America over a vast number of different things. I don't think people understand that when you declare martial law, like, immediately a million people die because there's utter chaos, utter calamity. So that's, once you declare martial law, things usually don't come back from that. President, and I'm going to mess up these Korean names. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just gonna. Hoon Suk Yul, not even close, declared martial law on Tuesday night in a move that stunned North Koreans and triggered a short-lived attempt by troops to enter the parliament, as lawmakers and protesters quickly voiced opposition to the most serious challenge to the country's democracy since the 1980s. The Speaker of the Parliament declared the martial law announcement invalid, and lawmakers early on Wednesday voted to reject it. Hoon's move, which sounds like a finishing move from Street Fighter, which he has cast aim at his political foes, was vocally opposed even by the leader of his own party, Han Dong-hoon, who was present for the vote in Parliament and who has clashed with Yoon and his president's own handling of recent scandals. Earlier, live TV footage showed helmeted troops apparently tasked with imposing martial law attempts to enter the assembly building, and parliamentary aides were seen trying to push the soldiers back, spraying them with fire extinguishers. Not good stuff. If it is the intention of North Korea to destabilize the democracy to the south, they certainly seem to be doing that. But luckily, everyone, we've got CNN. Because, an overbearing president in South Korea doing what he can to push back on communists in North Korea, 10,000 miles away from where we are. You'll never guess whose fault CNN claims it is.
Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, I was saying this in the last hour, just for context here. The reason that this is going to be just so, I think, emotionally jarring for the folks in Korea is because this is not really distant history. The fact that this kind of thing could happen in the streets of Seoul for folks who are in my parents' generation, certainly my grandparents' generation, this is what they lived through.
And you were born in South Korea.
I was born in South Korea the very last year that there was a military dictatorship, and soon after I was born, there was the first democratic presidential election that elected Roh Tae-woo. And obviously the country has evolved and developed so much since then, but we now talk about South Korea as one of the most important democratic countries and a vibrant democratic country in Asia that we look to and point to often as a model. So just seeing these headlines, seeing these scenes, knowing that this is possible, I think just in and of itself, in the context of South Korean history, is important. Obviously, we around the table should talk about why this should be an important thing for Americans to pay attention to.
Right. Well, that's what I want to.
Particularly given that Donald Trump is about to be president in a number of weeks, somebody who has said he wants to use the military to go after his own enemies.
We'll pick up on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think MJ's points are very, she's right on point here. I mean, they really rolled out the red carpet for Yoon. I mean, he had a state visit last year, had a state dinner with Biden. They issued a declaration, Biden and Yoon. I mean, and now the thought, we're seeing soldiers entering the National Assembly. I mean, you talked about, shockingly, the parallels to January 6th, just the image of a democracy facing this kind of crisis. I think this is something that people are scared about, or that sort of Democrats are scared about when they think about Trump's return, because he's encouraged the use of force to achieve political goals, and or try to achieve a political goal on January 6th, and or at least played with it. And he's talked about now pardoning some of these folks on January 6th, the rioters, insurrectionists, what you want to call them. So,
obviously, the freshly shaven testicle over there on CNN actually struggles, does whatever he can do to try his absolute hardest to somehow entwine Donald Trump and January 6th. Can't really get it. He's trying to work it all together in order to somehow say that the president of South Korea trying to beat back radicals from North Korea in his parliament is just like Donald Trump. These people bend over backwards to try to connect everything. It's like, it's almost like when you get hired at CNN, they give you like 10 scenarios that have nothing to do with Donald Trump, and you have to kind of work him into everything. You know, like last week, that crappy call at the end of the Chiefs game. It's like, well, you know, the call was crappy, but, you know, it does harken back to that call Trump had with Vladimir Zelensky. Like, they try to work it in every which way imaginable because they have nothing else. They have absolutely nothing else. But that's the breaking news at this hour. We will keep you abreast of all things happening in South Korea. Because, look, it is important. They are a large trading partner of ours, so... You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Somebody said Rumble's jumping around, so we'll see about that. Tuesday train for Eli. I'm liking it. We got to keep Eli well fed, you know. That haircut's not cheap. That's why he wears the hat all the time. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. Share the video out. Giddy up. Let's go. So, obviously, you guys see the headline of the show today. Oh, Canada. Yes, Donald Trump, in a meeting with Justin Trudeau, has suggested that Canada, obviously he's kidding about all of this, becomes the 51st state. Donald Trump said that if Canada cannot survive without robbing the United States, perhaps it just become the 51st state. Here's Peter Ducey.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Brett.
Of more on that detail with the panel. Peter, thank you.
Look, it's just funny. Obviously, I do not want any part of Canada. We don't need any more maple syrup. We don't need any more mooses. By the way, guys, do me a favor. If you're watching Sean Farish's show later, talk about mooses, but say it incorrectly. Say, like, if you're talking about just go in Sean's chat later and just say the word moose, but plural, meese, M-E-E-S-E. It'll drive him insane, and it'll be really funny. So go and Sean Farish's chat, 5 p.m. today, and just say the word mooses, and he'll get very, very upset. Obviously, we do not want Canada. We want no part of that. I do not want Justin Trudeau to be a governor here in America. But let's look on the bright side of things, guys. We could then have, Jordan Peterson run for president. That doesn't sound like such a bad idea. Wayne Gretzky could be his vice president. We could get some good stuff. All the people who still insist on wearing denim on denim, they can stay up north. We would be the largest landmass. We would be the largest country in the world at that point. We would have all of Canada's natural resources. We could drill up there in the Arctic. We could have a direct connection to Alaska, which I'm still not sure why Alaska is part of the United States anyway. It's not, it's kind of odd. Whatever, not really the point. But there is some upside to this whole thing. So it might sound crazy, but don't write it off just yet. Here was Fox News discussing the this is pretty funny.
On Friday night, the Canadian Prime Minister making his way down south to Palm Beach, Florida, after the announcement that President Trump was going to levy some 25% in taxes, tariffs, if changes didn't happen. Now, I want to read from this. Peter Ducey referenced it, some amazing detail, according to two people at that table who heard the discussion. President-elect Trump, while cordial and welcoming, was very direct when it came to what he wants from his counterpart to the north. Trump said to Trudeau, paraphrasing here, Canada has failed on the U.S. border, allowing large amounts of drugs and people across that border, illegal immigrants from more than 70 countries. But President Trump was even more animated when it came to the U.S. trade deficit with Canada. Canada that he put at more than $100 billion. He said if Canada can't fix those things, he will levy this 25% tariff on all Canadian goods on day one when he gets back in office. At which point, Prime Minister Trudeau says he can't do that because it'll kill the Canadian economy completely. And Trump asked, so your country can't survive unless it's ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion? Well, Trump said, maybe Canada should become the 51st state. Prime Minister Trudeau nervously laughed, as did others at the table, but Trump went on saying, Prime Minister is a better title, but you could still be governor of the 51st state. Then someone at the table said, Mr. President, that would be a very liberal state. To more laughter, President-elect Trump said, well, maybe we'll make two, a conservative one and a liberal one, but if you can't handle the list of demands without ripping us off in trade, then maybe you really should become a state or two and you can be governor. Now, it's just indicative, Katie, of maybe that was joking and tongue-in-cheek, but he's making the hard push on these, both Mexico and Canada, to shut down those borders, stop the drugs coming in, and to equal the trade deficit both ways.
I mean, look, based on that conversation and that reporting from Brett Baer, it really didn't seem like he was kidding. Which, not for nothing, if you guys can't do what we want and you can't exist without ripping us off, you might as well just become part of America. I think that is pretty funny. But what I find even funnier about the entire thing is that all it took for Canada to take this seriously was a little push. All it took was a little push. Not for nothing, we're starting to get even more pushback from the Mexican side. This is from a couple days ago. Mexican authorities have broke up 2 migrant caravans heading to the United States. All it took was President Trump to make a simple phone call and say, we're going to tariff the hell out of you if you don't do what we want. A little bit of force is not so bad. Yet, in this exact same timeline, what do we have? We've got Tony Blinken authorizing another $200 million in military aid over to Ukraine, and we've got Joe Biden going to Africa today and doing this.
That's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts and food insecurity. We know African leaders and citizens are seeking more than just aid. You seek investment. So the United States is expanding our relationship all across Africa, from assistance to aid, to investment to trade, moving from patrons to partners, to help bridge the infrastructure gap. I was told, by the way, when I got elected, I could never get an infrastructure bill passed.
So while the people of North Carolina sleep outside in the winter, Joe Biden is offering $1 billion in aid to the African nations in order to help them with natural disasters. Let's mark that under the list of I don't care. I don't care. It turns out we've been giving Africa money. You guys remember Live Aid? What was that, 84? We've been giving them money all the way since then. Turns out that was 5 years before I was born, 40 years ago. Some of them still can't get their act together. Doesn't sound like my problem while the people of North Carolina freeze to death living in the Black Mountains outside because their homes got washed away by a historic hurricane. While it takes activist groups like ours to be able to provide them with the aid they want, while Joe Biden is, prancing around Nambia looking for a lion or something, just handing our money out left and right. This is the waste. This is the fraud. This is the abuse that we continue to talk about. But Kevin, you say, foreign aid is only 3% of the U.S.'s budget. You're right. Good. Let's cut it and let's take it back. Let's do this immediately. That's the first place we can cut. If you're saving on your household budget, Stands to reason you could cut 3% right off the top. If Africa would like to buy things from America, we'll give you, I'll tell you what, we'll give you a discount. If you want to buy stuff from this country, wells, drilling equipment, in order to save yourself from the historic drought. But we're done being the sugar daddies of the world. I know I certainly am, and I know you guys are too. I'm done. And these tariff policies, I think, are going to go a long, long way in order to do that. Guys, before we keep going,
biggest benefit, honestly, has been with my skin. Skin was more hydrated, more radiant.
This is the best superfood that you could take.
It has all the essential nutrients you need for your skin, your gut, energy, focus, mood, performance.
My hair has gotten so much thicker ever since taking this.
I used to have a probiotic, a green juice that replaced it all with this Arma colostrum. It is amazing.
You gotta take it.
If you want to try it, try arma.com.
guys, with thousands of 5-star reviews, Armor Colostrum is the best way to start getting all the nutrients that you are clearly missing out on throughout your day. So, guys, head on over to tryarmor.com/LFATV to get 15% off. That's tryarmor.com/LFATV. Get that superfood formula so you can start feeling better today, guys, over at tryarmor.com/LFATV. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Let's pop that live chat up. Angela, let's see if it can be stopped. Marie, how are you? There's really no way to stop him. The president sometimes has plenipotentiary power to dole out some of that foreign aid, which he shouldn't. It should be authorized by Congress. Although, let's be honest, I'm sure this Congress would have done it anyway. I want to shout out Robin Blue Eyes. How are you? Helen Baez, what's happening? What's happening? Bad Moon Dawn, how are you? TD Hodges, what's happening, guys? Make sure you're hitting Sugar Daddy of the world. That's it. There's no other way to describe it. We are the Sugar Daddy of the world. Not good. Not good. But, hopefully we get a Congress pretty soon that'll put an end to all of that crap. So let's dive back into the ongoing saga that is the Hunter Biden pardon, because some people are actually incredibly pissed off about this, and they have every right to be. They have every right to be, particularly now we're getting reports from CNN that the whole reason this happened in the first place was Jill Biden pressured Joe Biden into issuing the Hunter Biden pardon. CNN reporter Jeff Zelny reported on Sunday that President Joe Biden was under pressure from inside of the family to pardon Hunter Biden. Here was CNN reporting.
So we were told that this sort of came to a head this weekend, and this is why President Biden decided now to do this. But as Isaac was just saying, that really is a sense of the conversation that has been going on really inside the family. And I'm told this has been very much a family discussion and something that has been not widely shared or discussed as a policy matter inside the West Wing. But there was a worry of future prosecutions or future potential of what the incoming Trump Justice Department could do. So that, of course, is freighted in all of this as well. But for now, this moment, this certainly is a decision that President Biden, I'm guessing, did not come to easily. But as you played that statement before, so much has changed since June when he told David Muir of ABC News that he would not do that. Of course, his station in life has changed. He will not be a second-term president, did not complete his campaign. So that is why, sort of leading up to this, that's why I'm told a decision was reached finally this weekend after spending time together in Nantucket.
Yeah, and he said he didn't want to delay it further.
So it turns out this decision was made for the family, not for the good of the nation. And some people are starting to notice that Democrats may do a little bit more moralizing when it comes to the Hunter Biden pardon than they'd like to see. Democrats do everything they can to be high on the hog and high on the morality train, even though it turns out they're just as bad as they accuse Republicans of being. Now, I said it yesterday, and a lot of you disagreed with me on this. A lot of you disagreed, and that's okay. If Joe Biden had just come out and said something along the lines of, yes, I pardoned my son. I'm a father, and I would move heaven and earth to protect my child, as I'm sure many of you would as well. I think people really would have been like, yeah, okay, I get it. But instead, he comes out with this moralizing statement about political persecutions and whatnot. Some people, some high-spoken Democrats and left-wing liberal supporters are starting to notice that maybe the Democrats are kind of full of crap.
Hunter was singled out because he broke the law. That's number one. He was singled out because he had an illegal gun and tax evasion charges, not because he was the president's son. And I honestly don't care. I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on this moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not, whether it's skipping the primary process when Biden stepped down and things like Biden pardoning his son. Stop acting like y'all the pure party and Republicans aren't. And it also shows me elected officials can do whatever they want as long as they have the political will and courage to do it.
Absolutely. But let me ask you a question. I know at first Hunter was only supposed to get, community service and probation. And then when that was supposed to happen, they pulled it off the table and they said that Republicans forced him to get charged. Is that true? And that's the reason why he was pardoned?
I'm not sure why he was necessarily pardoned.
Because at first, first he was supposed to only get probation and then they pulled that back and then gave him time, right?
I don't know nothing about that. I thought he was facing 42 years in prison for illegal gun possession and tax charges.
Get my son out. What are you talking about? Yes, he definitely, because he lied on paperwork to get the gun, and he was addicted to drugs at the time.
Yep.
And you're not supposed to be addicted to drugs when you get a gun, so that is how he quote unquote illegally obtained the gun. So there was that.
And it's funny to me that people are finally starting to notice that maybe things aren't all they claim to be. Charlemagne the God, obviously an incredibly influential radio host over there on the Breakfast Club, starting to see that maybe Democrats have been lying about this the entire time. That maybe the moralizing over there on MSNBC about how no good, very bad, mean Donald Trump is might perhaps be all a show. Because what people are having a difficult time understanding is that it's not about truth anymore. It's about authenticity. People who are authentic, people who, look, I promise you, okay? If you and the people in the chat who know me will tell you this, I am the same person I am on air as I am in person. This is not a show. This is just who I am. The problem is that so many people in the media and in politics put on this facade on air, put on this sort of, put on this mask to either shield themselves from who they really are because they're ashamed of who they really are, or they just become a chameleon and turn into whichever color, whichever animal, whichever shade of whatever they want to be in whatever particular room. And that's the difference between Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, people of that ilk, and Donald Trump. Even AOC said it the other day, which I give her great credit for at least recognizing the reality that we are in the era of authenticity. I bet you, I've never met her. I'm not sure I want to, but I would love to, actually. I bet you AOC is exactly the same person in real life as she is everywhere else. Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna, I'm sure they are. The Republican members of Congress that I've been friendly with, Corey Mills, Matt Gaetz, Elise Stefanik, Lee Zeldin. These are the same people you get in real life. The exact same people. Mike Collins down in Georgia, same guy. We live in a world of authenticity, and that's what's most important. And that's why I think that the statement about the Hunter Biden pardon is what's pissing people off the most. Just say it, Joe. Just say it. You're a father who's protecting your son. Nobody would blame you for that. But then this ridiculous moralizing is what people are hating so much. Here was Chuck Todd, I think he's on CBS, saying that he read the entire Hunter Biden transcript from the court case. And it turns out that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden might be the two most selfish people on the planet. And it's amazing to me that Chuck Todd is just coming to this conclusion now.
I follow the Hunter Biden trial very closely. Mm-hmm. I read every transcript, all the testimony, because that's what all that was made public. And there is, you want to get angry, just as somebody in just all these mixed emotions. You read the Hallie Biden transcript, and that's Bo's widow.
Yes.
And essentially he turned her into a crack addict. And this was all happening in 2017, 2018. And Joe Biden were so concerned about their family that they decided to run for president.
Yep.
So when you talk about the word selfish, it's almost like the word doesn't, their decision to run for president put the entire Democratic Party and the United States of America in the position that it's in now.
Yep. It's all about Joe. It's all about Jill. It has nothing to do with the quality of life of the American people. It is just about protecting the family. And Chuck Todd is just starting to know this. Chucky baby, if you had just called, I would have told you that 4 years ago. If you had just left your bubble, maybe people might have noticed it. Maybe you might have noticed it, Chucky boy. But, your Chardonnay parties, where everybody power jockeys with the most powerful person next to them, they're out of touch with reality. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. And that's why they will continue to lose. We've got more on the Hunter Biden stuff because people are starting to get a little bit frustrated with it. Guys, before we get to that, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Hey, it's Mike Lindell.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear, dog bed.
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35. Or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD, that's MyPillow.com. Promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. They got great sales today coming up for Christmas. You guys aren't going to want to miss out on that. Guys, support the people who support this show, and Mike Lindell has always been somebody who supported the show, so go to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. Jackpot. So, obviously, people are a little bit annoyed with the lying of Joe Biden over the course of the last several weeks when it comes to pardoning his son, considering that basically every Republican on planet Earth with a brain could have told you that this was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen, but Democrats, as we've been showing over the course of the last several days, continue to pretend, how could he do this after saying he wasn't going to? Clutch my pearls. Here's Carolyn Levitt.
To it. We assume they're lying to us, and then we work back from there. Are you getting the sense that Democrats have also had it?
Absolutely. And that's why we saw, again, President Trump receive a resounding mandate from the American people, Jesse. He received support from longtime Democrat demographics, black voters, Hispanic voters, Democrats, union workers who have supported the Democrat Party their entire lives voted for President Trump because they are fed up with the lies. They're sick of wealthy politicians inside Washington, D.C. telling them not to believe their own eyes, not to believe their own pocketbooks. And what President Trump has that no other candidate who has ever run for office in modern history has is authenticity. And he tells the truth. And you might not like the truth all the time, but he tells it. And when he says he's going to do something, he delivers on that promise. We're already seeing it, and he's not even inaugurated yet. The Trump effect is real. World leaders are coming to the table. Our border is going to be secure. The Middle East implosion is going to end because of the strength and the honesty and the truth from the Trump administration. And I'm excited to speak on President Trump's behalf starting on January 20th.
Well, you should be. I just still can't get over the fact that Joe Biden threw his wife under the bus and said, she wanted the pardon. I only did it because of Dr. Jill. Promise if Trump ever does that with Melania, you'll take Melania aside. Don't let that happen, okay?
He would never do such a thing, Jesse.
He would never. All right, good to see you, Caroline. Washington.
Honestly, as I said, it's about authenticity. You may not like the truth, but Donald Trump tells it. We're going to keep talking about the because we gotta give you your daily dose of Scott Jennings. But we're going to talk about one moment that, as Carolyn said, you may not like the truth, but Donald Trump tells it. Now, whatever would I mean by that? Do you guys remember a while ago, there was a story about some people, how would you say this, in Ohio, eating the cats and eating the dogs. And David Muir said that he called over there to check and make sure that that wasn't happening. And David Muir fact-checked Donald Trump live on stage to let the American people know that that sort of thing wasn't, what? Oh, hold on a minute. What's this? Local woman sentenced for killing and eating a cat. Hold on a minute here. What is this? Let's pull this over so you all can read it. Oh, hold on. Canton, Ohio. A Canton, Ohio woman accused of killing and eating a cat pled guilty on Monday to a charge of animal cruelty and will now serve more than 2 years in prison. Alexis T. Farrell of Canton was arrested in August and accused of stomping on a cat's head and then eating it. This is from Fox 8 Local. Now, Kev, that's Fox. That's Fox. What do we got? Let's just scroll through Google here. All right. We got Fox 8 Local. We got the New York Post. We got KATU. We got AOL. AOL.com is still a thing. The Daily Caller. Oh, this seems to keep going here. Yep, seems to. Well, it turns out that they are eating the cats. But you can't say that stuff out loud because it makes stupid people very, very sad. Yet Democrats will continue the lie over and over and over and over again. They simply will not stop. Another lie that continues to come up is, of course, the lie that Donald Trump wants firing squads, which came up on CNN yesterday. And Scott Jennings nearly broke his neck rolling his eyes at this one. But before we get to that, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. I want to talk to you guys about Cozy Earth, baby. CozyEarth.com. This is incredible. Guys, these new sheets and men's pajama sets, great for any person over the course of the holiday season. A silent night starts with the right sheets. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set is the ultimate gift for this holiday season, elevating everyday luxury into something everyone will use and absolutely adore. It's a gift with unparalleled comfort, making every night feel like a serene escape. And don't forget about how the holidays are best spent or with around the fire with your family in the world's most comfortable pajamas, which you can get over at CozyEarth.com. LFA. But what makes Cozy Earth different than everybody else? Well, Cozy Earth's goal is to help create a sanctuary within your home and a refuge from your demands of the outside world. We understand the significance of finding comfort and tranquility in the midst of our hectic lives. Your 5 to 9 should consist of relaxation, unwinding, and embracing a sense of calm. And with Cozy Earth, you can transform your space into an elevated haven where serenity and renewal are effortless. Guys, head on over to CozyEarth.com/LFA. That's CozyEarth.com/LFA. For up to 40% off. Wow, 40% off. All of their products, guys. Check that stuff out now. Their bedding and bath products have a 10-year warranty. That's how much they believe in them, guys. Go to CozyEarth.com/LFA. That's CozyEarth.com/LFA. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. Giddy up. Let's go. So, obviously, we've got to have our daily dose of Scott Jennings because, you know, he's just over there killing it on CNN once again, Scott. If you ever feel like retiring, buddy, give me a call and I will take your position gladly. Here was Scott Jennings. Basically, look, when it's CNN and it's 6-on-1, 5-on-1, whatever the hell it may be, it's almost fair for Scott Jennings.
NBC News reported that the president and his top aides met this summer and decided two things: that they were going to keep this option open, but they were going to publicly maintain that they would not pardon Hunter Biden through statements from Joe Biden and statements from the White House press secretary. They had a meeting. They coordinated the lie, I guess for political purposes. And now that he's leaving office, he is going back on what he told the American people. This isn't simply changing your mind. This is just fulfilling what you always intended to do. No Republican is shocked that he is doing this. What I am shocked at is the duplicity of the President of the United States and his top aides to come together and form this lie and stick to it this entire time. We all knew it was ridiculous, and now the American people are seeing what a disgrace he really is.
I think it's incredibly rich to have you say that the people got together and they were duplicitous and they created a lie.
NBC News said it.
I'm saying they created a lie
NBC News said it.
Honestly, what the other side has been saying for years, what you guys ran on for president, was multiple lies. I mean, if Eric Holder said it right, I think. He said if Hunter's name was Joe Smith, this case would probably have never even gone to trial, right? That it was always a political witch hunt. And it was always...
But Lee, wasn't, to Scott's point, I mean, wasn't it a lie? I mean, you can defend it, but wasn't it a lie that he was not going to pardon him?
No, I believe the circumstances have changed. I think that we now have a president coming into office who's talking about firing squads, who's talking about running people around the country and making sure that everyone who's his enemy is going to be punished. And Hunter Biden lied about his drug use on a government forum when he was buying a gun. And he failed to file and pay taxes when he was a drug addict. He paid back those taxes with interest. Donald Trump himself was indicted for 17 counts of criminal tax fraud.
Is it just me? Or does this blonde lady remind you of like that overzealous cheerleader from Greece? You know, the one that like Rizzo hates? I don't know. That's the sort of feeling I got there. Firing squads. He didn't say that. Literally, everyone has debunked that claim. But apparently that never made it onto CNN or wherever the hell that woman gets her news from. But just watching Scott Jennings roll his eyes in complete confusion. Scott Jennings, we are all jealous of you. We're all jealous of you. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Numbers are growing. Hey, Ponytail, if you've done nothing wrong, you have nothing to be worried about. Does everyone know who I'm talking about? That woman from Greece? Chat, you know who I'm talking about? Let's get that live chat up there. Does everybody know who I'm talking about there? Helen Baez knows who I'm talking about. Is her name Karen? No, but we'll call her that for the sake of doing it. The woman that played that part died recently. Really? Oh, I don't know that. Scott's face was the only Yeah, some people know what I'm talking about. That overzealous cheerleader from Greece. Whatever the hell her name was. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. Share the video out Let's rock. Let's roll. Also, guys, do me a favor. Head on over to lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. That is your home base, your mothership, everything you need, everything LFATV related, guys. That is the best way to help out this network and everything we've got going on over here. Also, we've got some huge stuff coming up, and we really can't do it. Check out the website. Boom. Let's pop this up on the screen. Let's check this out. No, let's make this a little smaller here. Check out this awesome website, guys. LFATV.us. That is where you can go to check out the shop. You can donate over to LFATV. Look at all the good stuff. There's my show right there. You can get links to all of the LFATV shows. All the good stuff over here. Oh, this is a really nice website. Who's ever doing this? Who's ever doing this should get paid more. So make sure you guys head on over to LFATV.us, guys. Check out the shop. That is the bell. Oh, look at this. A picture of my buddy, Scott Pressler, right there, who's coming to town next week. If you guys are interested in meeting Scott Pressler, make sure you guys keep it locked in here on all of my social medias, and we'll be posting that real soon. Real soon, guys. Head on over to LFATV.us. That's LFATV.us. So, we talked about it yesterday that some Democrats are starting to realize that the policies that they have put forth over the course of the last several years are simply not what the American people want. They just simply are not. Now, it shouldn't have taken this long for them to figure this out, but it has. It has taken them quite some time. And we saw Kathy Hochul yesterday in New York talk about how she will be participating and getting rid of criminals through ICE. It took her long enough. But now we're getting word from Tom Homan that even Mayor Eric Adams in New York has reached out to him about what they can do to make the city safer.
The Democratic mayor in New York, Eric Adams, a former cop, is ready to work with you.
I hope so, because I've just been notified he wants to sit down and meet with me. I'm willing to meet with him. I'm willing to meet with anybody to help make their community safer. Because again, prioritization out of the gate is public safety threats. Work with us on that. It makes your community safer. It keeps my officers safe. It keeps the community safe. Let's work together and get this done.
When's that meeting happen?
I haven't responded yet, but I'll respond this week.
Okay, we'll be in touch with you and him. Tom Homan, thanks. Maybe you can come on together, and we'll have it out. Thank you, sir. We'll talk later that week. Tom Homan.
Turns out Mayor Eric Adams is looking to get in touch with Tom Homan. People are starting to realize that maybe the policies they have put forth over the last couple of years are not working for the American people, are not working for their own agenda. We're even getting word that some Democrats, we talked about it yesterday, Bernie Sanders agreeing with Elon Musk on some of the waste cutting. Now we're getting a Democratic rep from Florida who has agreed to join the Doge caucus. Of course, that would be the caucus in the House of Representatives that will be assisting the Department of Government Efficiency run by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Representative Jared Moskowitz has joined the Congressional Doge caucus as its first Democrat. An organization headed by Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy that will look to cut costs and slash regulations imposed by the federal government. This from the Post-Millennial. According to Punch Bowl's Jake Sherman, Moskowitz said of the situation, "Today I will join the Congressional Doge Caucus because I believe streamlining government processes and reducing inefficiencies in government spending should not be a partisan issue. I've been clear that there are ways we can reorganize our government to make it work better for the American people. Specifically, the Department of Homeland Security, while very necessary, has gotten far too big. The caucus should look at the bureaucracy that the DHS has become and include recommendations to make Secret Service and FEMA independent agencies with a direct report to the White House. It's not practical to have 22 agencies in one department. I look forward to working in a bipartisan manner with my colleagues to remove FEMA and DHS from remove FEMA and Secret Service from DHS. I didn't even know that DHS had 22 agencies. That's ridiculous. How can anyone keep track of all that? I don't believe they can. And perhaps that's why we are beginning to see so many inefficiencies, like, hiring a woman who was previously employed to guard Cheetos, leading to the president being shot in the face. Moskowitz becomes the first Democratic rep in the caucus, which was launched by Aaron Bean of Florida and Pete Sessions of Texas, per a news release on November 19th. The congressman said at the same time that they are forming that caucus, it would reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. Look, there's going to be Democrats in this that are going to be looking to cut things that Republicans don't want, and there's going to be Republicans looking to cut things that Democrats don't want. But there is no one out there who is going to convince me that a Pentagon budget of $886 million is necessary. We saw Kash Patel talking about it the other day, that government just spends money that they have instead of giving it back at the end of the year. It's time to start reining in these federal agencies. Because when you rein them in, they become more efficient. I promise you, once this Department of Government Efficiency starts to take shape, you are going to start to see some calamities of spending, grotesque spendings, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of answering to do about where all this money went. In 2020, Bernie Sanders made a claim that the Pentagon should be audited to see where all this money is going. They failed 7 consecutive audits. Where's it going? Do you mean to tell me that if we cut, let's just use a small number, from $886 billion down to $850 billion, are we really that much less safe? Are we really that much less safe? I don't think so, because it turns out stuff still happens. It's not like they have 100% success rate on any of this. It's time for us to start reining this in, and I trust that Elon and Vivek will do that. I trust that they will do that. We're going to wrap up the show in a minute, guys, but before we get to that, I want to have a little bit of fun. I want to have a little bit of fun and show you guys the new ridiculous liberal claim that's been going on. Before we get to that, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out all the shop. Check out all the goodies on here. There is so much stuff. We got kids stuff. We got Christmas wrapping paper. We got Trump hats. This shirt, actually, I'm going to show it to you real quick, has actually been taking off. It is the new Jack Daniels. The new Jack Daniels shirt, which obviously bears the insignia of Donald Trump on it. People have really been loving this one. It's been selling like hotcakes. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, guys. Also, well, let's see. What do we got here? Let's check out all the flags we've got over here. Oh, there's so many of them on here. Look at these bad boys. You can get your Loud Majority flag. You can get your Trump 24 flag, your Vance flag in white and blue. Giddy up. Let's go, guys. So much good stuff over here. Deck out your front yard with all of these good stuff. The We the People Are Pissed Off flags, but we've had those for a while. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So, guys, check that out over at loudmajorityusa.com and use promo code LFA to get 20% off everything on the website. That's promo code LFA to get 20% off everything on the website. So, naturally, as we get closer and closer and closer to Donald Trump taking office, liberal women are continuing to lose their ever-loving minds. There is now a new trend. We saw it recently with the 4B movement, where ugly, fat feminists have decided to stop having sex with men. Now, some liberal women are going so far as to begin getting sterilized and blaming Trump. Y'all ready for this? Several liberal women have gotten sterilized or plan to, blaming their decision to become infertile on Donald Trump winning the election. In an interview with Newsweek, the women, including an OnlyFans model, said that they are afraid that their reproductive rights being taken away once Trump becomes president. Again, even though Trump has repeatedly said he believes abortion is a state issue, although his left-wing opponents have baselessly claimed he will ban abortion nationwide. Eden Lorexia 25 of Florida, who apparently creates OnlyFans content, said, quote, "The idea of getting pregnant is worse than death." She told the outlet she's begun making plans to have a bilateral salpingectomy. I don't know what the hell that means. Oh, getting your tubes tied. Why couldn't they just write that instead of big-ass words? For me, it was a call to action. I need to get this locked in so I don't have to live in fear at any moment that some random guy could destroy my life. I do like the fact that so many liberal women have considered getting pregnant, who consider getting pregnant destroying their lives. But on Bill Maher, they had a little bit of fun with this.
In the wake of Donald Trump's victory, some American women say they are turning to a movement that advocates no sex, dating, or marriage with men and no children. Wow. No sex, dating, marriage, or children.
Then the conservatives will outbreed you.
Right.
Good plan. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've heard.
But we are.
Yes, as I've said for quite a while now, Democrats have spent the last 20 years deciding to either sterilize themselves, sterilize their children, or outright abort their kids. And then they come back to us shocked that 20-year-old men are all becoming Republican. You know why? Because the only people repeatedly having children are mostly religious, but definitely conservative people. Couldn't have seen that coming. The future is conservative, and I'm liking it. Guys, it's 2 o'clock. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. Will Johnson is coming up next right here on this network. Head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out our shop. Use promo code LFA to get 20% off. Guys, I will catch you guys back live tomorrow. Until then, everybody, stay loud.